Hello and welcome back. I am Dr. Diane, and this is Too Soon to Stop, the How to Reinvent Yourself channel and my fight against ageism. I love sharing with you my 30 plus years as an emergency room physician and my journey of reinventing myself as well as the challenges I face due to ageism. I am thrilled to be with you today and have a lot on my heart to share with you, so let's get started. Please don't forget to share this channel with your friends, like and subscribe. Thank you. Many times people I have heard come to the emergency department and say statements such as, "I got sick just before I got off work." Now, this information is meaningless if it is not put into the proper context. It is content without context. What this means is that it is information, but without the ability to decipher the relevance of this information, it is meaningless. We do not know when the person got off work. Was it today? Was it 2 days ago? No way to tell without more information. The content is isolated and appears random and nonsensical to the listener. That is because we have no understanding of the context, because this information is not made known to us at the time of presentation. Furthermore, what does the patient mean by getting sick? Getting sick can mean many things. Without more details, we are lost. Did they develop a fever, start coughing, get nauseous, or start throwing up? Who knows? What, when, and context are very important to figure out in order to be able to best help out the patient. If the illness was just for a short period of time, then perhaps the patient can be sent home with a pill and perhaps a close follow-up appointment the next day. If the illness has been going on for a week, well, this is different and requires maybe blood work, an IV, or maybe even hospitalization. My point is, without context, content is difficult and next to impossible to put into perspective. Being a health professional who needs to make life and death decisions accurately, detailed information is imperative and makes a huge difference in our patient's life. This is how we make decisions to best help out what is ailing them. Without proper context, the content is meaningless. Even worse, without proper context, we may make the wrong decision or diagnosis, which can adversely impact the patient. So why would anyone expect everyone to be able to magically understand when they got off work, or even what they mean by being sick? It is because we are creatures of habit and are not self-aware. It is a way of coping and protecting ourselves. It is also a way of keeping ourselves in our comfort zone and not having to expand ourselves. Think of it this way. Say you have a water and you have a cup. You take the water and pour it into the cup. Can you put any more water in the cup than it will hold? Of course not. If you keep filling up the cup, even though the water is at the brim, then the water will begin to spill down the table and onto the floor, depending on how much water you continue to pour in the finite capacity of the cup. This is how we limit ourselves in our learning and growth. We are so used to thinking about things in a certain way that there is no other way to think about it. Well, it simply does not exist in our minds. Have you ever had someone come up and accuse you of something that you would never even dream of doing? They are certain that you have done the act that they are stating you did, and no amount of reasoning can get them to change their mind. It is because we think everyone thinks the way we do. We, however, need to stop our limiting belief. Not everyone thinks the same way we do. Start thinking outside the box. It is only when we are willing to expand our way of thinking that we grow and push ourselves to the next level, and it has to be a push, a hard shove in order to get ourselves out of our habitual way of thinking and move forward. Then you can learn more about yourself and, wait for it, how others think as well. You will develop a much deeper understanding of how people think and therefore become a much more effective communicator and leader. It will help you be so much more powerful in your life, and you will get so much further in helping yourselves and others. Pretty cool, huh? So, how do we do this? Well, this is when the learning process comes in and gets really exciting. There is no limit to content available to us, especially now with the internet. We can study out subject matter for the rest of our lives and not still have consumed all material available to us on the internet. The key to moving forward is changing our context, the cup. Get a new and bigger cup or work on seeing things from a different perspective. No habit will do this. You have to work really hard in changing the way you think. Okay, Doc, you're probably saying by now, albeit, how do I change my context since I now know that there's plenty of content available to me? Easy. Look at your results. Are you growing and moving closer to your goal? Think about that cup again. How big is it? It represents the boundary of your ability to grow at any given time. If you want to continue to grow, you must be willing to change the cup. Of course, we all know that this is a metaphorical cup that can expand and shrink on demand depending on where you are at any given time. If your results are not desirable, then you need to look for other ways to grow. Change that cup. So what are these other ways? Is it a class? Reading a new book on a subject of your choice? Is it getting a mentor in your life? Is it networking with people who have already achieved what you have trying to grow and achieve yourself? Yes, all of the above. This is how you change the context. If you are taking up someone's time that you want to learn from, by all means, be willing to buy them lunch or do something of value for the person whose time you are requesting. Besides buying lunch, you can also find out a simple task that they are wanting to get done and doing it for them. If this sounds like courting, well, it is. Another practical way to continue growth is to restructure what you have learned about a subject in as many ways as possible in order to come up with a new and better solution. For instance, when you put directions in your GPS, it gives you several routes to take, but they all lead to the same destination. Each route has its pros and cons. Status quo is not the way, but it is a way. Start trying to come up with different and new perspectives to get tasks done. You will be amazed at what this will do for your creativity. So, you have to be willing to get rid of the approach that rises from previous experiences and restructure your mindset. To gain deep knowledge about what you want to do, you have to restructure it in many ways. How? By brainstorming. You can rephrase the question. Do this consistently and you will be able to figure out solutions to new problems that have been overlooked. You also will have to learn to tolerate some uncertainty. It may feel uncomfortable, but will keep that mind working and as well as keeping the freshness available to you. When hold opposites together, you suspend your thoughts and your mind comes up with a different perspective. That's right, both ends of the spectrum will lead to new ideas and growth. Till next time, praying for your success and wishing you the very best.